This is a public hearing to discuss the North Chicago water tank, starting at 5:30.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Steve Sislicka with Trotter and Associates. I also serve as a city engineer for the city of North Chicago. Just a brief overview of what the project, that the hearing is over. It's for the North Chicago Water Tower number 1 and related transition main improvements. The city we're gonna be building a 750,000 gallon, elevated water storage tank. It's gonna be located down in Foss Park, next to the golf course. By the construction of this new tower, we're gonna be able to, improve the water pressure situation and the water availability of the current city operating system. The current operating system that the city has, we have a 4 million gallon standpipe. We call it the Green Bay tank. It's 4 million gallons. We also have pumps down at the water treatment plant. The top, only about 5 to 10 feet of the water storage tank is what we're able to utilize for water system pressure. And by constructing a new elevated water storage tank, we will be able to stabilize the city water system pressure and actually improve it. In addition, because currently the Green Bay tank is the only source of, is the main source of water pressure for the city, we really can't take it out of service. The last time the water tank was taken out of service, the city experienced a very high rate of water main breaks throughout the whole entire city because they had to turn around and install a temporary booster pumping station in order to supply that additional pressure to maintain water pressure throughout the city. But the project is funded with an IEPA low interest loan. We have been through all the environmental sign-offs. We are swapping property with the Foss Park District. Currently, where the tower is proposed out by the golf course is, we'll be taking, I think, like 1.2 acres of property, and we'll be swapping it, I believe, with like 11 acres right next door here. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. And has anybody signed in for questions or comments?
I'm just letting someone in now. I'm not sure.
We anticipate going out to bid within the next 45 days. And the project will start construction in the spring. And it'll take approximately either 1 year to 18 months, roughly in that time frame.
Nope. There are no questions per Zoom. So at this time, we're going to close the public hearing at 5:36 PM. And that's it.
Thank you.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything incriminating.
All right, I'd like to open up our city council meeting for Monday, October 20th. Can we please stand for the pledge of allegiance and remain standing for the invocation? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alderman Allen, would you like to do our invocation?
Father God, we come this evening just to say thank you. Thank you, Father God, for waking us in our right mind.
Yes, Lord.
Father God, we want to thank you for all you've done for us, Father God. We ask you, Father God, today, just bless our community, Father God.
Yes, Lord.
You see what's all going around the world today, Father God, but we know you're in control. So, Father God, we ask you just be with us. Bless those families, watch over those families, Father God, that they have lost their father, mother, or kids, whoever, Father God. Be with them. You said you would be a comforter. So, Father God, comfort those families this evening, Father God. And Father God, we just ask you to bless this city of North Chicago. And we ask all these blessings. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen, amen, and amen.
Thank you, Alderman.
All right.
Appreciate that. We have a roll call.
Alderman Jackson.
Present.
Alderman Coleman.
Present.
Alderman Evans.
Here.
Alderman Allen.
Here.
Alderman Ray. Here. Alderman Murphy. Present. Alderman Brooks.
Present.
All right, omnibus vote agenda.
Mayor Rockingham,
Alderman Allen.
can I get a motion to approve 5-1 through 5-5 as presented? Second.
Been moved by Alderman Allen, second by Alderman Evans, that the omnibus vote agenda be passed as presented. Are there any questions? Alderman Murphy.
Should add 5-3. It's approval of resolution approving and authorizing financial commitment of an amount not to exceed $250,000 for the Safe Routes to School SRTS grant in support of a District 187 multi-school crosswalk sidewalk improvement project. All of the documentation states October 6th.
It will be changed. But that was the initial time that it was presented.
Okay.
All right, thank you for that. Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Jackson.
Aye.
Alderman Coleman.
Abstain.
Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Ray.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Brooks.
Aye.
Motion carried. Public comment.
Yes,
Just a moment.
Can I
please, until
speak?
Just
No,
a moment.
Not yet. We'll get you on in just a little bit.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Shh. And. Shh.
1 second, please.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Okay,
All
sorry about that.
That's okay.
Rayon Edwards.
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
Mayor, thank you, finally, for doing the executive order. This is what I implored you mayors to do as soon as this started happening. Because I understand we don't want our officers interfering with ICE because they're federal agencies. But our first commitment, our number one priority is to the people of the city of North Chicago, not to a Donald Trump and not to no ICE agents. And so thank you
You're welcome.
for being a leader and stepping up for the city of North Chicago. But today I'm here to talk to you, Alderman. Because what happened to Mr. Smith, a lot of y'all supposed to be church-going members. Church, y'all said y'all believe in God. Y'all asked this community to support y'all and to elect y'all so that y'all can do the business of the city of the people here in North Chicago. What happened to that business owner was a tragedy. We all know that violence happened in our community. We've seen it at many places. You should know, because you like in a circle with some of the people that I'm in a circle with who do party. So I know you've heard some of the things that's going on. So one incident at this man's facility, and we take it We take it? Is that the message that we sent to business owners that want to come in the city of North Chicago? Because everybody on that live, over 23,000 people, thought that this was disgusting and it was wrong, and they want to know what you aldermen's gonna do. Because some of y'all on the ballot. And if you ain't, when you get on the ballot, you definitely gonna see me, because I'm disgusted. Because you guys are here to bring balance. Remember, we have no kings, right? We just did this march. No kings. How do one man have that much authority when we have a whole council? Do better. Mr. Wyatt, it's good to see you here at work, sir. I hope we can get you here more often. As the treasurer of the city of North Chicago, our finances is very important to us. And so it makes the people smile and feel good when they see their treasurer here versus running for other offices. Because what we need right now is people to stay focused. Mr. Evans, you looking at me like you got something you need to say. Okay, and you can address me after the meeting, sir. You sure can. You can. You can. You can. You can. And see, this is what professionalism looks like. Despite me having my time, you got a sitting alderman that want to go back and forth with me. See, that's how good you can be when you can pull a car like that. And this is what we call professional. This is what represents the city. When I'm talking, it's my time and I can address any.
All right, all right.
Quit lying, quit lying.
I can address anybody on this council
Let's do it at the proper time.
because this is our meeting, the communities, and this is the time we get to address this council. Of
Thank-
we got.
Thank you.
Why would you allow somebody to sit up here, all he gonna do is say what he gonna lie, and then he gonna walk out? Stop lying to the people. These people need to know the truth. And what I'm a sick alderman.
JP.
I
Alderman,
will tell you guys the truth.
Alderman,
Yeah.
let's do it
We're
at.
gonna tell the truth. Let him go on Waukegan and make a fool of himself.
Thank-
Okay, bye.
Get more time since I was interrupted, but I ain't gonna even complain of that. But Mayor, going forward,
Sir.
respectfully, sir, when we have these city meetings and it
And
is
it's
public
You- you-
time,
it's time.
I get it, that
Okay.
sometimes we can't take
See,
what's being given to
All
us.
right.
But Mayor, this was my time.
It-
He shouldn't have not interrupted me.
I know, okay, and as an alderman, he
wrong.
respect,
You got to
respect
check
it,
your-
the respect. Thank you.
Soon as we,
JP,
No,
pre, I can't read the left. Oh, sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Who else is,
Dulce Ortiz,
Okay.
and then we.
It takes a very special certification to read my handwriting, people. Thanks.
Sorry about that.
Good evening, Mr.
Just,
Mayor.
and just to let everyone know,
Thank you.
this is, Superintendent John Price from District 187, and we are going to give you a little bit extra time if you need it.
If needed. All right, thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council members and staff. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak to you this evening. Before I go on, I'd just like to recognize two of my board members who are here this evening, Ms. Amalia Gonzalez for Independent Authority, Mr. Gerald Coleman as well, and the Independent Authority this way. I think those are my board members who are here this evening. So first, I want to thank Mayor Rockingham. Thank you for taking the steps you did today to protect our community members and create a level of buffer and safety between our community and the enhanced federal law enforcement that we've seen in our community. These federal actions and the terror tactics being used have unfortunately had the desired effect. Members of our community are scared, afraid to go to work, afraid to leave the house to take their children to school, afraid to have their children walk down the street to go to school. I'm glad for the city's partnership and supporting our families and the entire community through this destructive and unnecessary crisis. This has been the most important thing that my team and I have been working on now for weeks, supporting our families and helping to maintain a feeling of safety to the maximum extent possible. I'm going to go on to some other things. I know we've spent a lot of time on this issue, and again, I just appreciate the partnership and your leadership. I would also like to thank the council for your approval of the district's exemptions for the South School project. We're pleased that our proposals met with your approval, and I'm grateful for your support and of the school district support as we continue to invest in our community by providing the facilities that our families and our community deserve. So we're excited to see this project officially begin in the next few weeks, and you're all invited to another ribbon cutting before the next year is out. We'll be over at South School. Finally tonight, Mr. Mayor, City Council members, I'd like to finally this evening address the ongoing dispute between the district and the Learn Charter Management Organization. The district has worked for years to reach a contract agreement with Learn. For years, Learn has refused to agree to terms. This year, after offering an unprecedented 7-year renewal, showing the district's interest in stability for our families, we again entered negotiations, but this time with a deadline. We made progress and ultimately agreed to financial terms. Again, evidence that the school district is interested in reaching a fair agreement. But 2 areas remain outstanding. The first is an accountability plan for the Learn schools that is fair and holds all schools accountable for yearly improvement. And an agreement on the future lease for the Learn school on the Navy base. Learn has inserted demands into the lease agreement discussions that the boards simply cannot promise to do. We cannot agree to terms that are literally beyond our control, or that would put the district into a financial disadvantage for another 15 years. We have worked hard to dig our way out of the hole that we were left with by the deposed board of 2011. It has not been easy, and many have made sacrifices to reach this point of financial stability and security for our district, and therefore all of our families and all of our children. We cannot now agree to terms that would reverse this progress, and that is what Learn, unfortunately, is demanding. We hope for an agreement. We have shown that we are committed to reaching one. I would ask the council to ask Learn for answers. What is it that they cannot agree to? What is it that is preventing them from signing the contract that has been negotiated and offered? What is it that is more important to them than the stability and continuity for our students and families? The district is committed to the mediation process that Senator Johnson has suggested. We will be at the table ready to reach an agreement. I hope that the same will be true for Learn. And it is because we hope for an agreement that we are giving the mediation process the time that it needs. That is why we are recommending to extend the wind down period from 1 year to 2, so that we can take the majority of this school year for negotiations and to try to find a pathway. But we cannot continue to move forward without a contract. We would never agree to do that, to move forward in a business partnership without a contract. So finally, let me be clear about one additional point. If the Learn schools do close, the district will offer a new school and school program in their place. We are committed to maintaining choice for parents in North Chicago. And if these schools do indeed need to close because Learn will not agree to a contract, then we'll be back to talk with you and to talk with parents and to find out what school choice can and should look like for the future of North Chicago. What school offerings are most important to our families? What is currently missing from the educational landscape in North Chicago? We're going to discover that together and work together to build a new school or schools that meet those needs. Thank you very much for your time. I'm happy to answer any questions if the council would like.
Are there any questions to Dr. Price?
I just got one question, Dr. Price.
Thank
So,
you.
when are your next meeting with the Learn Charter and the school board? When you guys meeting again, to sit down and talk about, you're saying one way, I heard one side, I heard the other side. So when you think about trying to work together and bridge that gap and build a bridge and not a wall in that situation?
Sure. Yeah, we're ready to meet anytime. We don't have a meeting set
You know what I
at
mean?
this time. I think one of the issues is the government shutdown. Because one of these core issues is the lease for the Learn 6 property with the federal government. Right now, there's just no one picking up the phone to answer questions. So that's one complication. That's nobody's fault, but that is delaying the process right now.
Just so I can know about when you guys.
Thanks, Alden.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes, I do.
Let me go.
Oh, no, go ahead. No, Ms. Brooks, go ahead.
Alderman Brooks.
You mentioned if you guys can't come to an agreement and after the wind down, there's no more Learn, other school options. So is that maybe opening up more North Chicago schools, public schools like we used to have? Is that what you mean, or?
That is what I mean.
Okay.
I mean, we're going to come back and we would have a chance to discuss this at length if that is needed. But I just want to be clear that there will be other choices. We'll create a school and we'll run it out of the same facility there on the Navy base while we work on constructing a new school, which, we will have a grant from the Department of Defense at some point to do what we did at Forstall with the Nimitz Village community as well. But, so yes, that is exactly the kind of option that we would be pursuing and designing together as a community.
Okay, because there will be a lot of kids. And there would be schools like Neil will be full, right? If we didn't have anything extra, that's good.
Right. I think what I just want to make clear is that there seems to be a false choice. Like, well, if Learn closes, then nothing happens. And that's just not what in fact we would do. We would need to run another school. And so we'd have a chance to design that together. Thank you.
Alderman Coleman.
Yes. I noticed that you added our school district into your vocabulary and into your speech, saying that this is our community. To my knowledge, I believe that you're still not invested in the community as of now. Like, you don't live here, you work here, basically, you're not invested. So, this is what I want to let everyone know. We have elected a school board that is our voice, that speaks for us. And right now, it's to my understanding that the elected school board was the ones that were pushing back. And if the elected school board officials are the one that were pushing back, that's our voice. Right now, we're still listening to the state. So what I would like to do, if I'm correct, it was the elected officials that, 3-4 vote, right?
It was not a 3-4 vote, no.
Well, the elected officials are the ones with the concerns?
I'm not going to characterize the discussions. I mean, you probably need to ask the elected school board members.
That's a great idea. Is there any elected school board
No,
officials
no,
in the room?
Alderman,
that would like-
we're
no.
not gonna get into that right now.
So we just
Alderman,
talked about kings and queens, and we're no kings. I'm an
No,
alderman.
but I over this council.
I'm speaking. I'm gonna let you talk out of respect, sir. And then I
I
have to
hope you
talk out of
respect
respect.
the chair, which I am. I'm not being no king, but I am the chair of this city council as mayor. And we're not gonna get into that discussion at this time.
Okay, so why is he here having a
Because he's
discussion
the-
if we can't have a discussion?
Not at this time.
Why is he here having a discussion
Not at this
if we
time.
can't have a discussion?
Move on, Alderman.
Is it that you don't want the discussion that I bring to the table? Or is it we don't want to talk? Because if we don't want to talk, then I think Mr. Price should sit down. There's nothing to talk about. But if we do want to have a conversation, sometimes you have to have both sides of the conversation, right? And you're going to
Thank you,
say
Dr.
things
Price.
that you don't want
I
to
appreciate that.
hear.
Thank you for.
And that's
coming up.
very disrespectful, very disrespectful. And as alderman, I'm an alderman, he came up here to talk. I asked him a legitimate question, not disrespectful, and we don't want to hear it. And I think that's a problem that we're having as a community. We have to listen to both sides if we're going to make an intelligent decision. So I don't know why we can't hear from the other side, but obviously we know who's sleeping in which beds. So with that being said, you guys be blessed.
Dr. Price, thank you so much for that information. I'm glad to see that you did put a 2-year additional onto the contract so that you can bring in a mediator to continue to work to hopefully resolve the contract.
Why are we still talking? We're done talking. You're not going to shut the conversation down, then manipulate the conversation. We're done. Next.
So also, I know that you
Okay,
did.
we're not going to keep doing that, Mr. Mayor. We're done talking. Now, can we stop talking about it? Because we're talking about it. I have a question as an alderman. Now, I respect you as a mayor. Now, you have to respect me as an alderman.
No, you don't
If we're going
respect
to
me as a mayor.
continue the
That's the problem.
conversation,
That's the problem here. You
If
don't
we're-
respect me as a mayor.
is he on the floor or not? If he's on the floor as an alderman, I have a right to speak to him. Is he on the floor? Yes or no?
No, he's not.
Okay, so why are you still talking to him?
I have a right to speak because I am the chair.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
We know how this goes.
And you, as you did say also that to get the other side. So I would like to bring at some point, Mr. White, just to hear.
How, Are you
the other side
determining
of
who
this.
the other side is? I want
So,
the
thank you.
elected
Thank you so
officials. I
much
want
for
Mr.
all you do
Coleman.
is in the
I
district.
want Mr. Coleman. I want someone who's gonna speak the truth.
Who else?
I want Mrs. Collins. I want Mr. Thomas
else?
Coleman.
Ms. Ortez?
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Liz Ortiz. I'm the Executive Director at Mano a Mano Family Resource Center. But also I would like to think that I'm a daughter of the city of North Chicago. I also serve as a Waukegan Township trustee, and I worked at Waukegan Township for 17 years before taking on my role. I was very blessed to have learned that when I started at Mano a Mano in 2019, we were opening up a satellite office here in North Chicago. I've always had a special place for the city of North Chicago. I know that we have a growing Latino community here, and so I thought that was perfect timing. In addition to that, Mano a Mano Family Resource Center, our main office is located around Lake Park, but we service all of Lake County and parts of McHenry County. We have community sites at Wakanda Public Library, Waukegan, and we also have team members at the North Chicago School District, in addition to our North Chicago satellite office. So we've been in existence for 25 years. Some of you have stopped by the office. Some of you we've met at an event, and some of you we've had one-on-ones. And so our goal is obviously to get to each and every one of you. But as you may know, we're going through very difficult and challenging times with the immigrant community. So I wanted to start with a scripture. You shall love your God. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. You should also love your neighbor as you love yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. And so what the city of North Chicago did today was show love to their neighbors, to our immigrant community. We are very grateful for the executive order that was passed today to each and every one of you. It brings a bit of relief to the immigrant community. And I say a bit of relief because we've seen ICE agents and Border Patrol. They've been violating every law possible. They have been detaining community members just because of the color of their skin. They are ripping families apart, taking mothers away from their children, fathers away from their children and their loved ones. And they're doing this in a very despicable way. Just last week, our rapid response team confirmed multiple kidnappings across Lake County. Some of them, just to name a few, was a student at the College of Lake County and Lakeshore. We have several kidnappings at Home Depot in Waukegan and Vernon Hills. And we're also seeing that they're kidnapping U.S. citizens. They're kidnapping U.S. citizens for exercising their right to peacefully protest. All of these were lawless. They weren't lawful arrests. We've also seen them conduct warrantless vehicle stops, using racial profiling, and this is designed to instill fear and chaos. And this is not immigration enforcement. This is political theater, and it's a campaign of terror. And our Latino community is the target. We've also seen on the south side of Chicago, they've been targeting Black men as well. They've detained U.S. citizens underage. They've been disappeared for 4 to 5 hours where the parents cannot find them. All for the right to exercise, to peacefully protest. So we're seeing all of this chaos and destruction by this current administration. And the way that we fight back is by passing executive orders and ordinances that are going to provide relief to your residents, to your constituents. So with all that said, thank you from the bottom of our heart. Anytime that you come across a family, any constituents that are in need because a loved one was kidnapped or because they can't leave their home to go buy groceries or go to work or go drop off and pick up their kids, please reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Commissioner Camicia Hawthorne, would you like to be last? There's one other person.
Yes, I think there's one online.
Piastas Petrius. Pardon? She didn't put that up there.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
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 You have
Yes.
3
Oh.
minutes.
Okay, great. Yes, good evening. As many know, ICE agents terrorize especially the city of Waukegan, Round Lake, and 10th Street in North Chicago, hunting down dark-skinned workers, pedestrians, parking lots, Waukegan public school children at bus stops, COC students, and public parks. It was like if Nazi soldiers with aggressive Gestapo tactics went to places of employment, homes, cars, and local Mexican restaurants, bakeries, grocery stores, landscaping, and roofers, instead of the dangerous criminals. Many detained were U.S. citizens and voters. These operatives are clearly a violation of constitutional and human rights. Therefore, Mayor, I want tonight commend you for taking the lead in your executive order. And I hope that other communities will follow your lead. As you know very well, North Chicago has deep roots with the Mexican immigrant community. The Padilla family, my family came here almost 100 years ago because no other community would allow Mexicans to purchase homes. But I also want to take the invitation, because we need to communicate more, definitely, to invite the mayor, Rockingham, and all the aldermen, and especially First Ward Alderman for 10th Street, Alderman Michael Jackson. Sir, we consider yourself, and for years, as our amigo. Therefore, when we started to see a pattern of vicious attacks by ICE agents on 10th Street, and with you being the Lake County Homeland Security Director, need I say, a lot of red flags went up. So we would like to give you the opportunity to communicate with the community and explain to us, not only Waukegan, a lot of Lake County people were like shocked to find out. So maybe we're missing something here, okay? But on October 28th, next Tuesday, we would like all of you to come down. Mayor, if you could have someone translate it to Spanish, your executive order. We should have a full house there. That would be great to let people know about what you're doing here in North Chicago. And also, Mr. Jackson, a personal invitation to you. If you could clear the air and just clarify what exactly is it that you do as Homeland Security Director? The community wants to know. We would really appreciate it. That's 7 o'clock at La Canoa next Tuesday, October 28th. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Armicia Hawthorne.
And on a good note.
Good evening, Mayor Rockingham and all our wonderful aldermen. I bring good cheer today. It's me, Commissioner Carmesia Hawthorne, checking in with you guys for Falls Park to bring you guys wonderful events. And first off, I want to say all events, please be safe, and be safe again. First off, guys, for Falls Park, we have the haunted house. This year, our haunted house is free. And not only that, it's going to be held at the community center. And we have a surprise guest that's coming. We have a Michael Jackson impersonator. So for all you Michael Jackson fans, you might want to come out and participate in this.
You can show 'em up. You can show 'em up, Mike.
And this meeting will be held, this event will be conducted on the 24th. So right after that, we have on the 25th, come join us for the trunk or treat. Again, at Falls Park District, and it will be actually held in the back of the building, just for safety purposes. We want you guys to come out and attend. And again, be safe, everyone, be safe. And on that date as well, let's just say you don't have any children and maybe you want to do something a little bit different than getting the trunk or treat. We have the Walk into Fall, the first annual community walk to the beach, Saturday, October 25th, 2025. Join us from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and we will start at the center, and you will it's 2 routes, 2 teams, and 1 goal. They'll be giving prizes out, t-shirts or whatnot. So again, if you don't want to come trick-or-treating, you also can come on and get in shape and walk on down to the beach. And last but not least, come join us for the Trail of Treats, which will be held at Twin City Park. And that will be actually Wednesday, the 29th, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And that as well is free. Again, be safe, use caution. We're going to put things in place that if people drive up in their cars, we're going to give them what they need so that way they can keep going. Okay. And I'll make sure that all these flyers will get to each and every one of you. And guys, be safe. And that's Commissioner Carmesia Hawthorne. I'm Chair of your parks, and you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, all right, we have one more person that we have put on the public comments, but we're gonna give this gentleman time enough to speak on an issue that, again, through the executive order that was signed today in support of our Latino community, letting them know that the city of North Chicago does not stand for the things that are going on. I know that Alderman Allen and Reggie Boyson came with Mr. Coleman and said, hey, we need to get something out to our residents to be able to know your rights, to be able to know what to do in case something does happen. And what better place than City Council to let people be aware? I know those that are here, but I hope there's more that are online to be able to see this, because again, due to the situation that's going on, there are people that are afraid to go out of their house. There are people that, aren't able to get food because, ICE has been out there. I've seen for myself, ICE agents on 10th Street actually took 2 employees of a company that was working. They were putting in a sidewalk for a business, and ICE agents drove up and just, they had their machinery, they had their equipment, and just snatched them. That's all it was. What do you say, kidnapping? Kidnapped them. I couldn't believe it. So this is what we have to put out to our public, to let people know what are your rights. In a situation like that, and I'm not good, I'm getting on my soapbox, but, I had a meeting with Congressman Brad Snyder. One of the questions I asked, I says, what papers do they need so that if ICE does come to them, to show they're legal? And the first thing that came out of their mouth, it doesn't care. You can have your passport, you can have driver's license, you can have whatever, and they will snatch you up. Again, what kind of country are we living in? So with that, I'm sorry. Mr. Coleman from Think Tank is here to do a presentation, and thank you. Thank you for being here. So
thank you.
The floor is yours.
Can you go to the first slide if it's possible? There should be one right before that. Maybe on the, yeah. Okay, so my name is William Coleman, but my friends call me Billy. Everyone in North Chicago knows me as Billy. I'm part of the North Chicago Think Tank, and we are a people-run collective that focus on food sovereignty, quality education, and health equity. And the reason why we are sharing this Know Your Rights resource sharing community conversation is because when we know better, we can do better. A lot of community members don't actually know their rights. They don't know the amendments and how they apply, and they're definitely not doing role play in order to be as protected as possible. This Know Your Rights training was developed in collaboration with different organizations in Cook County. I do want to say very bluntly that Lake County is usually behind in pace when it comes to progress in protecting the community. Okay, and so that's why we decided to collaborate with organizations in Cook County to see what the pace was, and that's where this Know Your Rights presentation was developed from. It is our hope that we can push more Know Your Rights trainings into every ward so that different wards can ask the questions that matter to them. But for this time, I just want to give you a brief overview of what the Know Your Rights training is and then answer any questions you may have, okay? So one of the biggest things that we learned in Cook County is that a lot of people don't understand their risk. When we talk to different people in the community, they'll make statements like, well, I have my papers. Or they'll say things like, they're not coming for me. There was a young man, when the Black person got choked out by the community, they said, y'all supposed to be choking out the Mexicans, right? And the reason why that is because the Latino community has not addressed their anti-Blackness, and the Black community has not addressed their xenophobia, right? And so what that does is that creates space for us to have hidden hate for one another. And that allows space for things like ICE to come in. And so we have to have these conversations, but we have to have them on a small, controlled scale, right? Because these are deep-seated issues. So when you see here that it says Black residents, unhoused neighbors, youth, previously incarcerated, and immigrants, everybody's at risk. But what they're thinking in their mind is that they're coming for somebody else. They're gonna come from the person next to me, right? And we had our neighbor on MLK and Lewis was kidnapped on Saturday. And it was very, very traumatic to have multiple cars pull up and have a neighbor who simply grows flowers. That's what he does. He was outside with soil and they just chased him. He's trying to climb a fence and he's getting tackled. And then his young daughters have to come to my door crying, asking for the Ring camera data just to try to find their dad, only to see that he was already moved to Michigan within 3 days. Right? And that is because we're behind. We're not prepared to protect one another, right? And there are different things that are happening in Cook County that they're doing, even the whistle program, right? Where if you see ICE, you can whistle so people can be prepared. That video footage was disgusting to see a man literally beautifying his home in North Chicago, and then in that moment he has to run. But the other part of that is, where's the care for his family? There's a woman with extreme diabetes. She got her kids, right? 2 daughters, twins. Where's the aftercare, right? And this is meant to be the beginning of that, to say, how do we care for each other to protect each other from these kidnappings? But then what do we do after someone has been kidnapped? We have Rosalind Franklin University in North Chicago. Give us something. Some mental health preparedness, some physical health preparedness. Do we do wellness checks? What kind of trauma goes to that nervous system when you're seeing people getting abducted and kidnapped? Okay, so can we go to the next slide? So what do we talk about when we have a Know Your Rights training? We talk about why this conversation is important and what's happening. A lot of people have not read the Big Beautiful Bill. And the Big Beautiful Bill has said exactly what they're doing. He was not mincing words. He said exactly what he was going to do. And I want to shout out North Chicago Library, because the North Chicago Library has already allowed us to hold 2 of these trainings. And the Illinois Black Advocacy Initiative came down to North Chicago and they read the executive summary for the budget. And it said very clearly what was going to happen. And the first thing he said to the people who attended was, they coming for your SNAP. And I don't know if you guys have seen the messages that are going out, but now they're coming for SNAP. And so I'm just saying this to keep reiterating that we're behind. So we have to rev it up a little bit to show the community that we care and we're willing to be humble enough to say we're behind, but then we'll provide this solution. Also, we talk about what are my rights. We focus on the first the Fourth and the Fifth Amendment. We talk about how to stay protected and then what are some next steps and ways to help. If you go to the next slide. By the end of the training, you will know the full context of the current political moment. A lot of people don't understand the full context of what's happening right now, right? You just had the protests and you had the mayor of Chicago talk about a general labor strike, right? Something very real is happening and some people are still in cognitive delusion, saying, no, this can't be what's happening, but it is what's happening. People need to know their legal rights and their risks. Do people know what you risk by going to a protest? Do you know what you risk by smoking weed in your car? Do you know the difference between the risk of a DACA recipient versus someone who was born here versus someone who has papers? Do we know those things? We need to talk about those. We also need to talk about realistic safety strategies. Some people don't even know how to check on their neighbor. They don't know how to go to the left and to the right and just introduce themselves. And then we need localized next steps and ways to help. I follow a lot of different rapid response teams, so I know where to look for accurate information. And it's a lot of people still fumbling through Facebook trying to find things when they don't have to. Can you go to the next slide? This is a pretty strong slide, and we'll talk about it not here, but in these meetings, we'll talk about the fact that white supremacy and slavery has never been abolished. A lot of people haven't read the 13th Amendment, and the 13th Amendment says very clearly that slavery hasn't been abolished except in the cases when someone has been convicted of a crime. It's very clear and it's very real, and people need to understand that people are being kidnapped and then they're being trafficked. They're being pushed as far as Eritrea. Mass deportations and incarcerations have happened before. So when people say, what country are we living in? It's the same country that's been doing this, especially to Black people since inception. Violence is all around us through the big, beautiful bill. And what we are suffering is economic oppression and systemic violence. Many people have tried to warn us, right? And some of that we just need to read through the big, beautiful bill together, ward by ward, and let people know, okay, what's going to go after SNAP? What's the next to go, right? Next, please. So here is an example. If you look at the 13th Amendment, it's written there, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime, right? And we have been, the North Chicago think tank has been in solidarity with our incarcerated brothers and sisters since the beginning. And we've been trying to say over and over again that our brothers and sisters are being enslaved, and now it's just spreading. When you don't handle the issue, it spreads, right? And if you look at the bottom, it says Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. It's written right there. So people are like, why is Congress doing that? Because that's what they're for. And we need to have those conversations, but in a controlled manner so that people don't get panicky, but they also understand that it's time to make different decisions to protect yourself and your family. Next one, please. We talk about the First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment. Can you go to the next one, please? The First Amendment, right? Do people know the 5 areas that you're supposed to be protected with your First Amendment rights? Religion, speech, press, assembly, petition, right? Going through that with community members, but also going through a risk analysis. I don't know how many people here have done a risk analysis, but our youth are going outside, right? They're going outside, they're getting tear gassed. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to the protests at Broadview, right? But people are going out and fighting, right? And then you have parents of North Chicago who are scared for their children because they don't know where their children are going, right? So it's time for us to comfort and care for all of our neighbors. Yeah, next one, please. Fourth Amendment, reasonable searches. As a Black man, I know how important this amendment is, right? But we have to talk about searches, right? Who gets to search what? Who gets to search where, right? And we have to talk about it ward by ward. Next one. Fifth Amendment. Due process. Due process, right? There's something that we learned in our train the trainer is that you're supposed to call lawyer first, parents second. Do you know why? It's because usually the parents give up the rights. It's very important that you know the law, right? There have been times when parents have come into conversations with police and then they've just had their children sign something, right? Central Park 5, right? And so what we're seeing is Latinos are being treated in a way that has been used against Black people since the beginning, right? When we're being coerced, when we're being told to find ourselves guilty when we haven't done anything, right? And this is a very delicate conversation, but it can be had. North Chicago can show itself as progressive leaders, right? Caring to say we will do the work because we are a Black and brown community, right? And we can have these conversations. Next, please. During this training, we go through a deep dive, and a deep dive includes education and role play. What do you do if you're stopped by the police, ICE, or military on the street, right? And we're being taught, you're not supposed to say nothing. Am I free to go? Am I free to go, right? A lot of people need to practice that. They don't know how to do that, right? Next, please. We go through a deep dive of, next one, please. If you experience being stopped at a traffic stop, what does that mean, right? Telling our community, hey, listen, stop driving on expired plates. Make sure you got your seatbelt on. Does your car smell like blunts? Then maybe we need to take some action, right? To make sure that our people are getting stopped less, because ICE is they're only interested in arrest and detain. They're not interested in any truth. This is not an investigation, right? Next, please. What to do if police, ICE, or military come to your home. Knowing the difference between a warrant signed by a judge, a warrant not signed by a judge, knowing when to open the door, when not to. Next one, please. Giving information to people who are immigrants. I don't know how many people know, but Black immigrants are treated by far the worst in this situation. So if you are a dark-skinned Haitian, a Jamaican, right? You face further penalties, right? You get treated horribly, right? And so we need to start asking ourselves, what picture comes to my mind when I say immigrants? Because it's a lot of people, right? Not just Latinos, right? We have to talk about this in order to create solutions that actually work for the people in our wards. Next, please. System impacted people. We have to talk about people who have records, people who have been previously incarcerated. What does this situation mean for them? Because when we're setting a precedence where people can be picked up just by the color of their skin or a belief that they're an immigrant, what happens if ICE starts to say, we just want to pick up people that look like criminals? Right? It can easily be turned. Next one, please. Unhoused people. We have, I'm sorry that we have to say this, but we are very anti-homeless, right? We look down on homeless people and we don't keep them safe. So they're easy to be grabbed. I believe a young man was grabbed in front of Supermercado Gonzalez on Grand. Just existing, right? They can get you just for existing, right? And so we have to ask ourselves, how are we keeping the unhoused community members safe? Do we know them? Do we think about them? Next one. The youth. The youth are very much at risk, right? Because one, I'm proud of them. They're going out there and doing things that we are a bit too scared to do. And they're saying things, but what is their risk? What happens if a child is taken? How many hours are they allowed to be taken? How do we alert the parents? What does this all look like? And there are a lot of young people protesting, a lot. Next one, please. Joining trusted channels. There is an Illinois Eyes on ICE network by the ICIRR. I don't know how many people are on that, but I get texts to my phone directly. So I don't have to look through Facebook to say, is there an ICE agent at Walmart? Is there an ICE agent over here or over there? Because they are a trusted source, and we need to get as many community members as possible on that network. And it's easy. All you got to do is text them and they'll start sending you those. We also want to get the hotline to the Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights out to community members. Who do I call if I see ICE on my block, right? Do I know the difference between a police officer, a border patrol, ICE, right? Can I spot the difference? And then the practice and role play. Next one. Role play. What happens if law enforcement stops you on the street and asks for an ID? What do? What happens if they come to your house and have a warrant that is not signed by a judge? What happens if they stop you at a traffic stop and ask permission to search your car? What are you supposed to do? These have been developed by EAT and Chicago Black Voters' Rights in Chicago. And it's really important for us to tell the community that even if you don't want to practice with us, let us give you the information and practice with your family so that you at least can say block by block how many of our homes are informed. Next one, please. Are you? I really encourage the community to ask themselves about their risks. Are you clear on your specific rights and the requirements that you should have when interacting with law enforcement? Are you able to understand and communicate the value of know your rights in our current climate? Are you aware of which groups are at greatest risk of facing harm and which safety strategies can keep them safe? Are you knowledgeable about how to access the resources for legal aid and mutual aid? And are you prepared to handle interactions? Okay, next one, please. What are some next steps and ways to help? This was written before the signing of the executive order, so thank you for the executive order. We would like the opportunity to just read that out to community members. We have to remember that all of the education that we want to provide in North Chicago has to be culturally competent, meaning it has to make sense for Black and brown people of different reading abilities, right? And so that means we have to do some demystification. We can't be using big old vocabulary words and government jargon and all that. We got to make it make sense to the people on the corner. How would we talk? How do we go outside and talk to people at the beauty supply store? How do we go out and talk to people at IGA? How do we go out and talk to people on the block about what's happening? And then also we'd like to work with different communities to create sanctuary zones. I don't know if you guys have heard of a sanctuary zone, but there are sanctuary zones being built all over different areas. Where do they run? And what do we do when we realize that community members are in hiding? There are community members in hiding. Next one, please. Help create sanctuary areas for at-risk community members, but also support the building of aftercare networks for neighbors impacted by ICE activity and kidnapping, right? We used to take plates to each other, right? We used to check in and say, how is this person? How is that person? How do we build that back? We build it ward by ward. We have meetings in each ward. We bring people together and we start checking in on one another. That's how we do that. Next one, please. Okay, so this is a little bit old, but the North Chicago Think Tank meets every Tuesday at North Chicago Library at 6 p.m. Again, we meet every Tuesday at 6 p.m. at the North Chicago Library. So if you want to come by and learn about the different projects that we have with health equity, food sovereignty, or quality education, please do that. I am asking that each alderman please reach out to me at northchicagothinktank@gmail.com, or I can reach out to you to schedule at least one in-person Know Your Rights training for your ward and one hybrid Know Your Rights training for your ward. And I'm asking that that be provided in English, Spanish, and ASL, American Sign Language. We have to learn how to include more community members and center our community members with disabilities, our community members of different languages, our community members with different backgrounds. So yeah, and that's pretty much the presentation, and I'm open to any questions or comments that the alderman may have.
Are there any comments or questions?
Mr. Mayor.
Alderman Coleman.
Mr. Coleman, I just want to say that you've been an advocate for the community from day one, and sometimes people don't say thank you enough, right? And I'd like to thank you and keep encouraging you to continue to do what you do.
Also want to thank you too. We met and we have a meeting. Thank you.
Yep.
And Alderman Brooks?
Same thing. I just want to echo that, I came across you a number of times, brother Zoom meetings and stuff like that. So, you've been in the streets, you've been out there, you've been kind of everywhere, gathering information that you can gather to bring back here. You've been doing that for some years now. And I do commend you for that. If nobody has ever said it to you, I know we all saw you and thought it. You know what I mean? We all saw you and thought it. So yeah, echoing Alderman Coleman and Adam, I'm pretty sure about up here, man. Thank you for what you do. This presentation was awesome.
Yeah.
And I will, and I hope all the other aldermen, everybody do take advantage of some of the meetings that you have and learn what you have going on a little bit more in depth. So thank you, bro.
Yep. Yes.
Do you have a card or something so we can get in touch with you?
I don't have a card, but I'll write my email down. We are on Instagram, North Chicago Think Tank on Instagram, but I'll.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
And thank you.
Of course, of course.
Anyone else?
Now, I know you've been doing this for a long time. I've worked with you before.
Yes, sir.
And I gotta say this, I'm glad that you was here, standing in front of us, in front of the audience, sending the message out to the people for the understanding of something like this. It's a great job. And what we need is more people to come up and be positive like yourself, to come up and give information that could help this community. So congratulations to you again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Let me just echo everything that was said. Mr. Coleman, the slides that you presented, I know you didn't have time to go in depth on any of them, but it sent a message out, not only here, but out to our community that, they have an opportunity to come back and learn more about all the issues that you brought in your slides.
Yes, sir.
So I hope people will take advantage of that. Every Tuesday, 6 o'clock, North Chicago Library.
Yes, sir.
Again, we've got a lot going on in our community right now, and it is not it's not in a good way. So, again, know your rights. You gotta know, like you say, if a policeman comes up to you, what you can and can't do. Again, I know you didn't have the time. We asked you to kind of keep it within a 30-minute, period, and I thank you for that, but, citizens get an opportunity. I know you'll go more in depth, and I hope that you will continue to put more out online.
Yes, sir.
So that people can understand what's going on.
Okay.
So thank.
Mr. Mayor, this is recorded and it'll be posted on YouTube. So
Okay.
we Get it out on Facebook to let them know it's there too.
Yes, Alderman Jackson.
Yeah, greetings, always, it's always good to see you and to have conversation with you. With your program, time frame, how much time do you need to put it together as far as
The engagement is 60 minutes.
60 minutes? Okay.
60 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alderman?
And it can be online or in
Yeah.
person.
Well, it's obviously better to have it in person because if people have questions, they can
Well,
at least have a live body to,
I will say there are a lot of community members at risk. So I would say just having a hybrid really shows them that even if a lot of community members are in hiding.
okay.
So
Yes.
I do want to kind of put that out there strongly,
Sure.
that the hybrid version might get a lot more. And some people just may be embarrassed that they don't know their rights.
Right.
And so we want to make it as shameless as possible. They can come on with no camera. They don't have to put their name, no identifying information.
Very good.
Thank you.
Just one more thing, Mr. Coleman. Just want to check your calendar for November the first Saturday, of November. I'd like to do that ward meeting. I'd like you to come in. I got a lot of seniors there, so now.
Okay.
So November 1st, we'll be talking, but
Okay.
I want everybody to know that we're gonna do a ward meeting on the 1st of
Okay.
November.
Yeah.
For the fourth ward here, that's the
Okay.
council.
Okay. And I do want to say that the local organizations like Mano a Mano, Center for Immigrant Progress, and the Illinois Workers Collaborative have put out a lot of really strong information and educational tools that I want to share, especially for business owners. They literally have it broken down what you're supposed to do to be able to protect your workers. And so I just want to also keep promoting their canvassing efforts and say, really make a big heartfelt statement to the community. If we say our business owners, everybody, do you have this information? If you don't have it, we can get it to you ward by ward. But there are a lot of like palm cards, posters, all sorts of things that can support community members.
All right, well, thank you so much, appreciate it, good job. All right, back to business. Regular agenda, 7-1. Well, we got a consideration and approval of the new North Chicago City logo, which will be presented here tonight to the city council. So at this time, can we, well, do we need a motion or should we see what it is first?
Let's see what it is. Let's see, do we want to bring it in?
Studio North, you like to come forward?
Mayor, city council members, before we get started, I just want to say, wow, thanks, Billy. I'm proud to work in a community where these kind of issues get aired publicly. And where there's a commitment to help people learn their rights, and to help people who are in fear, and help people who are being hurt. And here we are talking about a logo, and it sort of seems small by comparison, but I just want to say that hopefully what you're going to see tonight is something that for the next 20, even 30 years, people who live in North Chicago are going to look at it and say, that's my hometown. I'm proud to be from North Chicago. So what you're going to see here is it's a testimony to the power of people's voice. It's the end result of a process that started well over a year ago. Community stakeholders, it extended to hundreds of North Chicago citizens and incorporated feedback from this council just a month and a half ago. This visual brand truly reflects the people's voice, and we're confident the people are going to love it.
It better be right.
Yeah.
See?
Oh,
See?
Everybody's got their opinion, but they voted for
the votes, let's just say from the council lacked consensus. Almost everyone liked it different, but anyway, how did we get here? When we met with you last month, I'm not going to go through this whole slide, but we talked about this process that includes dozens of interviews, hundreds of hours of research, leading up to 2 workshops last spring with the mayor and several community stakeholders that identified key characteristics of North Chicago's identity. Community pride, culturally rich, opportunity, innovation, and fun, welcoming, safe, and distinctive. And we came up, this group of stakeholders came with a consensus to form a brand promise that became the North Star of our brainstorming and logo explorations. And that promise is fueled by pride and driven by a bold sense of purpose. North Chicago is a community where everyone can grow, connect, and thrive. Next slide, please. Building on that, we narrowed our ideas to 12 designs. We probably had 50 to start with, that we shared with the community via stickers and paper ballots at community days in August, followed by online surveys in both English and Spanish. Next slide. By October 7th, when we decided, okay, that's enough, but we still got votes coming in, more than 500 people had shared their votes and opinions. And since everyone got to pick 3, we had 1,135 total logo selections.
Hey!
Mark?
Yeah. All right, you teased it out, yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, no, they're gonna say, go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead, what was it?
What's that? Oh, great, go on, yeah. We should move forward, yeah.
We already showing that we
Yeah, great, yeah. All right,
There we go.
yeah, here it is, right? Thank you. Like Jeff had shared, right, over,
a year in the making, so much just research, so much community involvement, right? You know, dozens of interviews, the workshops, right? With mayor, residents, businesses, business leaders, you know, that input, right? Just has gotten us to the place of just going that the community owns this logo, right? We feel such pride in it. Some of the attributes that came out of the workshop of, you know, 3 distinctive attributes. We want North Chicago to be a welcoming community. We really think this brand, this logo deeply reflects that. We wanted, you know, there was a point about being an attribute of it being a safe place, right? We feel that this maintains that and actually grows upon that as well. And so in this, right, we have we feel like it has a warmth in that welcoming side. We have something around it, the feel of it being safe as well as being distinctive, right? The tagline being history, harmony, home. And it just feels so actually forward and comforting all together with those words. There's no doubt in the research and the interviews and all the feedback, God, the history comes out so strong. So to have that there was just really powerful. As we move forward, on the next slide, please. You know, as Jeff had shared, this was the voter ranking, right? This was the #1 out of the hundreds of people, right? That came from the paper ballots, the feedback in community days, the English online and Spanish online feedback as well. So from the 50 down to 20, down to 12, down to 3, down to 1, this was the #1 selection. Yes.
Is it gonna be in color or is it gonna be black?
Oh my gosh, you are awesome, dude. I love that. So just from best practices, establishing a brand in black and white to make sure it holds is critical. And so from there, then you build upon it. So the next slide, please. So then we started to explore, right? We started to explore introducing color. Now, there's so many variations. We're actually going to continue that here. Really, we were looking for the consensus of this, right, logo, this brand, this mark, and the tagline of history, harmony, home. But yeah, we started the process. Really, we went with the blue. There's so much around blue in terms of actually warmth within a community. There's also that side of being on the lakefront with water, the naval base. There's just so much goodness around North Chicago and us exploring the color blue. There's variations that we'll continue to work on in the brand guidelines and color palette there, but we just wanted to show it a step beyond, right, just in black and white. We also just purely from an exploration side, if you could please hit the next slide. Started to try to bring it to life a little bit. Right, it's just, thank you. It's just right, I mean, it's just right, like potential signage, right? Flags there, just even on the website, letterhead. Boy, someday could it be on the water tower, just in terms of, right, polos or caps or whatever. I think it really is the foundation of a new day for North Chicago and just really moving forward. So, so this was just an exploration there of how it could look applied. Next slide, I'm sorry. This was just us playing a little bit right back years ago. That's how brands would be representative, you know, in the downtown area on the brick wall. And so we did a little bit of a throwback and we're like, gosh, this could work. You know, maybe it's an idea, maybe not, but it was just a playful exploration there. So you could jump ahead to the next slide, please. Yeah, so right, so this is our recommendation. I know we had gone through and shared even in last month, all the research and all that went about it, but this is something that the community owns. It's the voice of the people who selected this one here, this particular logo. I think there's a ton of pride, civic pride that will come for it and be a fantastic launching forward for the city of North Chicago. So really looking for approval by all of you today. If we have your approval, there's a documentary premiere event that's going to be on November 4th. Be amazing to share it with the folks who attend that. And then the last phase in this initial process will be building out the brand guidelines, which would include the color palette exploration even further, as well the messaging platform that was first started in the brand workshop. I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but it's really establishing all the foundation for moving forward for further application.
And I just want to wrap up by saying, we believe the community will embrace this logo and this tagline 100%. And we'd like to ask for your approval to start making it happen.
Sound like a plan.
Sound like, thank you. Thank you for all your hard work. I know you've been working on this well before Community Days and getting that out. I mean, we tried to push it out, and I think as many people as possible went online and made their, suggestion and their determination on which one. No, it's not mine, but it's, but, I would say, when you bring it out that way and you show it, I mean, that was one of my top three. I will say that was one of my top three that, I really did think that was a, possibility, wasn't the right one. But I think, again, if the citizens of North Chicago, just like this council, moves forward and the majority, moves this council forward also. And the suggestions that came from our citizens, I think we have, I think that is something that we have to embrace. Once we, have the documentary and pull it out and start pushing that logo out. Once you start pushing it out, people will start to embrace it even more. So I think it's excellent. Great work.
Thank you. So,
is there a motion to accept the logo?
Make a motion to accept the logo.
Second.
It's been moved by Allen. I'm gonna go for Alderman Evans, that we approve the new North Chicago City logo. Are there any questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Coleman. Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Ray.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Brooks.
Aye.
Alderman Jackson.
No. Motion carried. Wasn't your favorite one either, huh? No. Okay.
Thank you all.
Well, thank you though.
Majority rules.
There you go. That's all we can say. So.
I gotta change my shirts.
Well, that was gonna come no matter what. Trust me, I know. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Thank
it.
you
We
very
look
much.
forward to November 4th.
Yeah.
November
Thank you.
4th. Yes, all right. All right, 7-2, consideration and approval to waive first reading and approve ordinance or authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute IEPA form letter of credit and trust agreement for the Sheridan Crossing environmental remediation.
Mayor Rockham.
Alderman Evans.
I would like to approve to waive first reading and approve ordinance authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute IEPA form letter of credit and trust agreement for Sheridan Crossing environmental remediation as is.
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Evans, second by Alderman Allen, that 7-2 be passed as presented. Are there questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Ray.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Brooks.
Aye.
Alderman Jackson.
Aye.
Alderman Coleman.
Abstain.
Motion carried. 7-3, consideration and approval of resolution for Halloween trick or treat hours in North Chicago.
Mayor Rockham,
Alderman Evans.
I would like to approve a resolution for Halloween trick or treat hours for 3 to 5 on October 26th in North Chicago as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Evans, second by Alderman Jackson, that 7-3 be passed as presented. Are there questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Ray.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Brooks.
Aye.
Alderman Jackson.
Aye.
Alderman Coleman.
Abstain.
Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Motion carried. 7-4, consideration and approval to waive first reading and approve GovHR/MGT contract for an administrative assistant in the Economic and Community Development Department at a rate of $43.50 an hour.
Mayor Rockham,
Alderman Evans.
I would like to approve to waive the first reading and approve Gov HR MGT contract for an administrative assistant in the Economic and Community Development Department at a rate of $43.50 per hour.
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Evans, second by Alderman Murphy, that 7-4 be passed as presented. Are there questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Ray.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Brooks.
Aye.
Alderman Jackson.
Aye.
Alderman Coleman.
Abstain.
Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Motion carried. 7-5, consideration and approval to waive first reading and approve a resolution for honorary street designation of Pastor Ernestine Smith Drive.
Mayor Rockham,
Alderman Evans.
I would like to table 7-5 as is.
Second.
Been moved by Alderman Evans, second by Alderman Ray, that this be tabled until the next meeting? Or,
Until we can come with the best scenario to approve a sign and criteria to get a sign. So once we
I
review
think
it,
we do, don't we have that already in place?
we don't have everything in place because, the last time that we tried to get a sign, we tried to approve one, but it wasn't in the fashionable order to make that decision. We have other people that's on the, that is currently up for signs. And we want to make sure that we don't jump ahead and place someone from getting a sign. They're still in the process of removing signs also. So Greg does need to look at that.
Okay. I know that, okay. I know they were trying to do it for his anniversary, correct?
I do understand that,
Okay.
but,
Okay.
we still have others that want to do it too.
Okay. All right, there is a motion to table. Any other questions? All right, roll call on the table.
Alderman Murphy.
I apologize.
Murphy.
I'm
Question.
sorry, question.
This being tabled for a committee, the next
Yes,
meeting?
being tabled to committee.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Alderman Murphy. Aye. Alderman Brooks.
Aye.
Alderman Jackson.
No.
Alderman Coleman.
Abstain.
Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Allen. Alderman Ray.
Aye.
motion carried. So that'll be put back into committee for
Discussion.
discussion on Monday.
Would it be?
But
Go ahead, sorry.
for discussion on the, what is it, 20th?
Next.
No,
The third.
The third, I'm sorry, we're on the 20th,
November 3rd.
November 3rd.
So what we need to discuss is how to go about getting these signs, or are we discussing putting this person on there? See, what we should be discussing is how to put a person on getting a sign.
Revisiting the sign ordinance.
Right, we need to
Right.
revisit the
Okay.
sign ordinance.
All right. Well, let's do revisiting and whether this should be brought back to council for a vote.
Okay, the reason I'm saying that is because we just went through that same
Ah.
scenario 2 months ago
Okay.
regarding a resident. So therefore, we had other residents that wanted a sign. So I understand, I don't even know this person. So, I mean, So therefore, I'm just trying to figure out why is the person up there for the sign? So maybe that could be explained to us also.
Okay, all
Okay.
right, all right. Staff, get yourselves ready. So, okay? All right, motion carried. So, 7-6, city bills,
Mayor Rockingham,
Alderman Allen.
make a motion to pay, approve the city bills plus the special one and special two invoice. And it's for $1,542,475.59 when bonds come available.
Second.
Been moved by Alderman Allen, second by Alderman Evans, that city bills be passed as presented. Are there questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Brooks,
Aye.
Alderman Jackson, Alderman Cole, Alderman Evans,
Aye.
Alderman Allen,
Aye.
Alderman Ray,
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Motion carried. Miscellaneous business, anything under miscellaneous?
Mr. Mayor,
Alderman Coleman.
I want to address my alderman, since it's illegal to address them outside, addressing all 7 aldermen. I am definitely still part of the team. It's been advised that I don't say anything, due to my court proceedings. It's not that I don't love you guys. I love you guys. I would love to be here. I have to be here today, due to certain rules that apply. But they appear to be taking my passion and my care for the city and using that to paint me in a light that I don't want to be painted in. Okay. So with that being said, it's very difficult for me to sit up here and not put on for my city, right? Because that's what I do. There's no one that has ever voted for me because I don't say anything. 100% of my votes come from people that know I'm going to stand up, right? And we had a man sit here and was brought to the floor, doesn't care, doesn't. He walked out. I asked him to stay a little bit longer, Mr. Price, because there were some questions that I want to ask him at miscellaneous. And he told me, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about, and walked out, okay? I believe the reason why he did that was because he didn't like what I was saying. And our leader allowed, right, that to happen, right? So now as an alderman, the way this works is when I go ask him a question, he walks away from me because he doesn't like what I'm saying. My job is to speak for the people that elected me and to speak up. I'm doing my job, all right? It's not personal. There's parents that elected me. And when we have challenges in our school district, I have to speak up on their behalf, even if there's people in the room that don't like it, okay? So that's kind of my job. And I would also like to address what a chairman truly is, okay? A chairman under Robert Rules of Order, the role of a chairman or proceeding officer is to maintain order, ensure impartiality, and facilitate a fair and efficient meeting. The chairman is a neutral moderator, not a participant in debate. So when the mayor puts something on the floor, okay, we have a right to speak what we're elected to do. And when the mayor says, you can go sit down, right? And he instructs the participant to go sit down, that's not impartial, right? And when the mayor doesn't acknowledge me because he doesn't like what I'm saying, that's not impartial. But I'm talking to the 7 aldermen right here is because not one of you guys, one time, ruled our mayor out of order. You sat here and you allowed the disrespect of my residents in the 2nd Ward that elected to me to speak up. And I'm not saying anything out of order. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm actually asking to hear from the elected officials that we all cast a vote for. I'm standing up to hear the people, right? And for that to be shut down and me not to be addressed as an alderman is disrespectful. And we sat up here, every single last one of you aldermen sat up here, and not one person said, Mr. Mayor, you're out of order. He's an alderman. He's speaking for his people. You have to let him talk. You put this on the floor, you have to let him speak. If you don't want to talk about it, don't put it on the floor, because the alderman's job is to talk about it. And as a chairman, he facilitates it. Now, because he's been up here for 20 years, sometimes he feels that I'm the chairman, my meeting. It's not. It's our meeting, Alderman. He just facilitates the meeting. But one of my biggest concerns is us as aldermen knowing our rights, okay? I love the mayor. I have no problem with the mayor personally. I really don't. He's been always a mentor to me, if I like it or not. I mean, he's a great person, but me and him, when we're talking about the children in the community, we might bump heads, right? But that's not because I don't respect him as an alderman. I mean, I respect him as a mayor, because absolutely I do respect him. But I need that respect to be mutual. And the only way I can get mutual respect is if we all do it together, okay? Chairman does not mean it's my meeting. Chairman means I facilitate the meeting and I listen to the alderman debate, not shut down aldermen, shut down people, just not being impartial. So, Alderman, it's very difficult for me to sit up here and not say the truth. So I haven't been in attendance, but I have been available to all of my residents, 224-340-8156. I've been available to all the aldermen when they called, except Dante. He called me. I apologize about that, sir. One phone call, 2 texts. So I was kind of we get off our chest, right? I think everyone's in here. Dante, Mr. Brooks, we have established before you got here that the aldermen kind of were, everybody respected each other wards, right? Meaning, if Mr. Jackson brought something to the table, I respected it because it was in his ward, and Carl as well. That speed bump that you put in, that was in my ward, man, it was the best thing. I had been working on it, right? And when you said that, you know, people said, well, where's the 2nd Ward alderman at? If Dante got to do it, right? And I told Carl, I say, I was so proud of Dante. He was so happy to get that done. I was really excited for you at that time. Right? Yeah. So, you know, as an alderman, I remember doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like getting my first project done or whatever, second. So I do apologize at that. You know, I was wrong for that, not returning your call. So I do apologize. But everybody else, I've been there and I've been answering your phone calls. But if you don't see me around, I have to get through my court case and then I'll come back. I'll be better and I'll be stronger and I'll be wiser. Go ahead, Dante.
Wasn't trying to overstep your toes, step on your toes. It was brought to me a couple times, and I don't want to, some stuff don't need to be, you know, whatever is understood is understood. I did what I thought was the right thing to do. So, but you know, you've been dealing whatever, so, but I didn't mean to step on your toes. Just trying to do the right thing.
And you did do the right thing. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's it. I just want to let everybody know I love all y'all. I love everybody in the community.
We love you too. How about that? We love you too.
Nothing but love.
Nothing but love.
Thank you.
All right, anything else on the miscellaneous? Hearing none, executive session. We do have two things, under executive session. We'd like to get a motion to go into executive session under 5 ILCS 122C2 collective bargaining, and also the approval of, oh, that's later. That's right. I'm sorry. I got it. Only one thing. So, do I have a motion to go? Been moved by Alderman Jackson. Was it right? I can. Okay. And second by Alderman Brooks, that we go into executive session for collective bargaining. Can we get a roll call? No?
I thought.
No? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Like I said, there is no motion. Can you withdraw your motion? Can you withdraw your second? Can you withdraw your second?
Maybe they were supposed to have.
Withdraw my second.
Okay.
Cause I remember.
I entertain a motion to adjourn.
The communication.
It's been moved by Alderman Allen, second by Alderman Jackson, that the city council stand adjourned. Are there any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
That's the, when I turned you coming in, you ain't did nothing. You ain't did nothing. Oh, man, get out of here. You know, you just sit here and call it a day, man. Sit here and call it a day.
Here we are.
We got a 3-minute break. 3 minutes. She's pushing the timer. All right, we got 3 minutes.
There you go. Oh, hey, man, look, don't get me in trouble.
Let me ask, in regards to our committee of the whole, is anybody needs any of the reports? I know they should be all in your packet. Are there anything that you wish to address or anyone? Because if not, we can move on to the Human Resource Committee.
Okay, Lori, when you're ready, I'd like to open the Human Resources Committee meeting with a roll call, please.
Alderman Jackson, Alderman Coleman. Okay, Alderman Evans.
Here.
Alderman Allen,
Here. Wow.
Alderman Ray, Alderman Murphy,
Present.
Alderman Brooks.
Present.
Okay, we have one item, discussion of Illinois Municipal League Risk Management Association, that's the IMLRMA, insurance renewal. Liz?
Hi, good evening. So everyone received the information about our risk management, renewal. And the reason why, one reason why that you have it here is because it's our renewal, but that if we also pay by November the 14th, which is one of the last documents, the invoice here, that the city will save approximately $12,000. So we save about 1% if we pay by November the 14th. So another reason. Basically, you have the information that was included in your packet, which is the ordinance. It's also the min-max premium agreement that we have with them. And like I mentioned, the invoice. Chris is from RMA is also here to answer any questions that you might have. We've had a fairly good year overall. We've had a slight increase, but like talking with Chris, the first few years that we were with them, we kind of stayed at a stable that we didn't have a rate increase and now it's just, really it's part of our payroll increase that's going up.
Okay, any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alderman Evans.
What was
I'm
the
sorry,
amount-
Alderman
What was the
Allen.
amount of the increase and why was the increase? What was, I see some of the, loss, the loss they had, so he's here today.
Yeah.
So what, why was the increase in that?
Could give them the mic.
Yeah, please.
I think your name is.
My name's Chris with the Municipal League Risk Management. The way we rate everybody is we take your payroll, your property, your vehicles, and equipment, and then rate it up that way. So your overall exposures went up about 3%. And that's what your price went up, was around 3%.
What is the dollar amount? Just do it, what's?
I don't have a calculator.
dollar amount went from 1,192,691 to 1,228,000.
228?
Mhm.
Okay. The reason I'm asking this question to you, because I was just trying to find out, we had a lot of, accidents in some of the police cars. So I'm asking, is that some of the reason why it was going up?
No, we really don't look at claims history that much. It's more on the exposure side. Your loss ratio with us for the last 3 full years is around 20%, which is fantastic.
Okay.
Our break-even point, when we start looking at people, is more like 70%.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're used to police car claims. We're used to police work comp claims. We see it all the time. We're up to about 820 members after the end of this year. So we continue to add more and more members, and we really appreciate your business.
And I just wanted to say, so when you say payroll increase, it's not only an increase in the number of people that we have working for us, but obviously pay goes up for people over the course of time while they're employed. So that's what the 3%.
Yeah, that's
is
usually,
calculated.
what we use is like a 3 or 4%.
Okay,
Because you're gonna give cost of living raises to everybody.
okay.
And on the flip side, if you get rid of a department, we can take that payroll off.
I don't think we're gonna be doing that anytime soon.
So it works both ways. Or if you sell a big property, we would take it down.
Okay, any other questions for either Chris or Liz? Okay, then what I'd like to do then is move this to our next meeting, because all other things being equal, that would be November 4th. I'm sorry, 3rd. We'd have the opportunity then to approve it. We'd have the opportunity then to do the payment in time to meet the early payment, date.
Right.
And realize a savings of just over $12,000. So I would strongly encourage all of you, I'm not trying to tell you how to vote. But timing wise, if we can move this to the next meeting and vote then and get this into the AP, into the bill pay run, we will realize a very nice savings for the city. So I'd like to see that happen. Okay, thank you very much. Then, I'd like to get a motion to adjourn the Human Resources Committee meeting.
So moved. Second.
Okay, so moved by Alderman Allen, seconded by Alderman Jackson. Roll call, please.
Alderman Alderman Jackson,
Aye.
Alderman Coleman,
Aye.
Alderman Evans,
Aye.
Alderman Allen,
Aye.
Alderman Ray, Alderman Murphy,
Aye.
Alderman Brooks.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to open the Economic Development Planning and Zoning Committee meeting. Roll call, please.
Alderman Jackson,
Present.
Alderman Coleman,
Present.
Alderman Evans.
Here.
Alderman Allen.
Here.
Alderman Ray. Alderman Murphy.
Present.
Alderman Brooks.
Present. First, well, the only item up is discussion of declaration of surplus property and authorization to dispose via auction method. 712 Broadway Avenue, 2238 Hervey Avenue, 1700 Morrill Avenue, and 822 13th Avenue. And on cue, we have Mr.
All
Payne.
right. Thank you, Chairman Brooks, and good evening, everyone. As mentioned, we have 4 properties that we're looking to dispose of. All 4 of these properties the city has acquired through the county green book. One of the properties though, 1700 Morrow Avenue, is a property that we've previously sold actually to an individual. They were not able to build a single family home on that property within the terms of the conditions of the real estate agreement and the special warranty deed for that property. So they did agree to deed the property back to the city. So we now control and own that property again. But we have no real purpose for it ourselves. The intent has always been to make it available for single family dwelling development on that site. So we'd like to make that back available for auction for the public to bid on that property. So that's 1700 Morrow Avenue, 822 13th Avenue, 2238 Hervey Avenue, which is two parcels that are adjacent to one another and represent one zoning parcel. Were all acquired during this last round of Green Book properties from Lake County trustees. And then the last one on there, 712 Broadway Avenue, is a property that the city previously used grant dollars to demolish a nuisance structure on that property. So we'd like to make that available. That one, I'll just put a little asterisk on. We are also, that's one I brought to your attention a few weeks back. We would like to pursue a zoning map amendment for that property to change the zoning from B2 commercial to R3 single family residential. So staff will petition for that map amendment, the rezoning of that property. But in the meantime, we'd like to move forward with the approval and authorization to dispose of that once that process concludes with that. So 1700 Morrow Avenue, we've previously declared surplus. However, since we've sold it and reacquired it, I'd like to go through this step of declaring it surplus again. And then the 2238 Hervey and 822 13th Avenue, we recently acquired, so we have not declared those surplus. 712 Broadway Avenue, we've declared surplus previously, but that was some time ago. So I would just like to go through the exercise again to declare that as surplus. And then all four properties, again, we would make available via the auction method. So we would advertise those in a local newspaper for 3 consecutive weeks, accepting or allowing for the public to submit their enclosed bids and open those at a future city council meeting and to proceed accordingly.
Any questions?
Just one quick for
Murphy?
clarity, and we may have talked about this before, so if we have, forgive me. When we do it by the auction method, do we set a minimum bid?
For these, we have in the past. There was one we recently did. I think we set a minimum bid for $10,000. For this, we likely won't. It is council's decision or discretion to accept or not. So if the bids come back and they're too low, we can have that conversation of we would not recoup our expenses here or something to that effect. And we could always reject all bids and then reconsider our options.
Okay, I'm not suggesting we do. I was just wondering if there's a set, like, again, if auction method means automatically we set a minimum, or that's our discretion. And then I did see that, yeah, we could reject all bids if we choose, even if there's no minimum.
That's correct.
If we don't think that it's.
And that would be city, our staff recommendation. If there's such a low offer,
Then-
we might reconsider or ask for an additional duration to seek additional parties to consider bidding.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thanks. Alderman Evans?
Are we going out, these properties, are we going out and purchasing them? Or where are these properties coming from? Because I was under the impression that we didn't have any more properties on the city. From the city.
We have quite a few properties that the city owns.
We do.
Some of those properties are improved with public buildings, such as this property we're on right now, Public Works, et cetera. A lot of properties we've acquired over the years through a variety of means. Some of those have just been deeded or donated from the property owner. They have no purpose for the property. They don't want to have to pay the tax bill, so they've donated it to the city. There's others that we've acquired through judicial deeds, perhaps for nuisance cases where there was a abandoned property or something like that. There's other properties that we've acquired through tax deeds when they hadn't paid their taxes. So we've submitted an offer for the property and acquired them. A lot of those
We own
historically
this?
have been $0 bids that the city has submitted
Do you
through
have
the
a
county
list
Green
of
Book.
them yet?
I'm sorry.
Do you have a list that we can have?
Sure, I maintain a list of city-owned properties. I'm absolutely, I can make that available to any,
Okay.
alderman who would like it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Mr. Alderman,
Alderman
Alderman
Coleman?
Brooks. Taylor, the last time me and you spoke, I shouldn't be talking. Last time me and you spoke, it was one property you had left. And you said that we didn't have any properties and you was able to find that one property. And Reggie actually had put in on that property. I think you know which property we're talking about. And you said that was the last property in the Green Book. Did you not say that? Don't lie. Did you not say that was the last property?
I honestly don't know the conversation. It could have been the year prior's Green Book.
Okay. What's going on is they're finding properties and they're giving it away with no bid minimum. And we know who buying the properties. And the sad part is I have nothing to lose now. So I had a conversation with Taylor and he swore up and down it was one property that he had left. And Reggie, I mean, I remember the conversation. And I know you're not gonna let me call Reggie up here because the mayor's gonna jump all in and say, no, you can't do that. Hey, Reggie, can you come up here? Can I ask Reggie, what was that property that we had discussed? Oh, I'm sorry, Dante.
Is that allowed?
Yeah, we're aldermen.
I just want to make sure that we're writing our rules, that's all, that we're allowed to bring Reggie
You're
up
the
during this
chairman?
time. And Reggie can answer the question.
What was the property address the last time I called you and I told you that there was a property in the Green Book? And I was able to find that one address. Do you remember that address? It was on Park. Do you remember the exact address? Okay. 17. Do you remember that address?
Honestly, don't know.
I know, we have such a short memory. Wow. This was like 2 months ago.
Honestly, I don't. I wish I could say I did, but what I will say is the Green Book's still open. It's still it's a living process that they have.
Okay, but the alderman just asked you, where are we finding these properties that we giving away and we auctioning? This is our land. This North Chicago, this is our resident. Who are we giving this land to and where are we finding this land at? Because every time I talk to you, it's always one piece of land. Now we come up with 4 more pieces that we don't have a minimum bid for.
I think I can answer that.
Oh,
So-
please.
Sure. So we just acquired 2238 Hervey Avenue, 1700 Morrow Avenue, 822 13th Avenue. We just acquired all those deeds through this year's Green Book process. And then with the case of 1700 Morrow Avenue, that was just deeded back to us after we followed up with that property owner who we sold that property to previously. And so if you're saying that our conversation was 2 months ago, we had not yet acquired the deed to 1700 Morrow Avenue, 822 13th Avenue, 2238 Hervey Avenue, those 2 parcels. The exception there would be 712 Broadway Avenue, which is a city that we did own, or a property that we did own. However, it was zoned and currently zoned B2. So when asked the question, and I get this question a lot, do we have any single family properties available that I could build a house
Let's
on?
not detract. Let's not go. Let's stay focused on the conversation. Because now you have a keen memory. I mean, you remember everything now. You don't remember that last address. But that being said, the issue is when people go and they want to purchase property, we don't have none. We only got one left. We ain't got nothing. We empty. And then all of a sudden, we got 4 properties and we're gonna sell them. Now we got properties. For the right people, we got properties. For the other people, no, we ain't got none. That was 2 months ago. We just purchased these. So with that, I'm gonna regress. Alderman, I think we all know what's going on. And if you don't know what's going on, you need to speak to an alderman that's been sitting up here for a while and ask, why are we questioning where are these properties coming from and where are they going? Right? It's a reason why we're questioning that, and we're continuing to question that. And we want to make sure that everybody has a fair chance at properties, right? And it's just not one person that happens to have all the money. And we want to make sure that we have people that are in our community that are looking to purchase as well. And when they look to purchase, we need them to have some properties available as well. So,
If I could respond,
no, I don't need a response. Thank you.
thank you. Looking to the chair, but,
Well, the chair is not gonna let you disrespect an alderman, but you can go ahead and try. Go ahead, Chair.
There will be no disrespect. I'm gonna allow him to respond.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Brooke.
When did he
no
disrespect?
disrespect intended. Alderman,
Then I was done.
I could explain the situation. This is the disposal method. It's outlined in the city code of ordinances. We're following that code. This is an auction method, meaning that it's publicly advertised. Any party's allowed to submit a bid for those properties. I don't think that's awarding any contract or any property to a single party. It's making it available. It's very transparent that these are available to all parties. I think I explained myself as to how we acquired these properties as well. With the exception of these 4 properties, we don't have this giant inventory of single-family developable parcels that are out there. So I get that question often of what properties are available. There are some very unique properties that are out there, some larger assemblages of properties, which some have stormwater concerns out there, so they're not very developable. Some of them don't have public infrastructure out there, so they're not developable. Some aren't on public street frontages, so they're not readily developable. Properties like the RFP that we currently have out, which has been advertised and distributed to many individuals about Arrington Woods. There's a multi-million-dollar infrastructure project that would be required to implement that. So that's available for parties to submit proposals on for out there right now. So when asked the question of, does the city have a parcel that I could buy to build a single family house? The answer is no, because one, for like these 4 that you could build a single family home on, I don't have authority from city council to dispose of those yet. And we haven't discussed the disposal method. And so that's why I'm in front of you this evening, because I do have 4 properties that I've identified that are available for single family development. And I'm asking your approval to dispose of those through the approved methods in the city code.
Thank you, Taylor. Does anybody else have any questions? Comments? Okay.
I do have one.
Alderman Murphy.
It's not a question, it's a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Since the theme seems to be no kings, does that include no drama kings? Rhetorical question. No answer required. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Alderman. Anybody else before we close? No, I have nothing. I'm good. Okay, I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn the Economic Development and Zoning Committee meeting. Sorry. Oh, yes, we move it to council for vote next meeting. All right, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn the Economic Development Planning and Zoning Committee meeting.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Ellis, second by Alderman Evans. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Closed.
I'd like to open up the finance audit committee meeting. Roll call.
Jackson.
Present.
Alderman Coleman. Alderman Evans.
Here.
Alderman Allen.
Here.
Alderman Rain. Here. Alderman Murphy.
Present.
Alderman Brooks.
Present.
I want to agenda discussion of contract renewal with Black Product and Amen LLP pension aerial service for FY 25 for $13,140. And for FY 26 $13,660, and FY 27, for $14,020. Go ahead,
Good evening, council. How's everyone today?
Great.
Tonight? Good evening to everyone. What we have on the agenda today was a contract approval for Lauterbach and Amen for the police and fire, pension board. Oh, no, I'm sorry, for the police and fire actuary agreement. Do you want to hold off until, I reached out to both boards, but we haven't had a discussion about it yet, so I think, do we want to hold off until you see
We
if?
should be able to move forward with it. I did have one thing that I wanted to bring up because I brought it up at our two pension board meetings. In it right now, we don't actually have anything in regards to changes to state law. So I know the mayor being a former president of IML, there's a lot of tier 2 bills being discussed down in Springfield. IML has 90 that they're tracking, and of those, or 91, and of those 91, 50 are opposition bills. So essentially what it would do is it would take tier 2 beneficiaries or majority of our police and fire officers that we currently have and move them over to tier 1. So what that would result in is us having to pay more money because we're gonna have to pay a higher benefit for them. So one thing I was asking is to have that portion added to this so that we can have those when we have we have what is it, lobbyists down in Springfield, so that way they can have some teeth to talk to them, our state reps and state senators. This is gonna cost us, say, 700,000 as an example, if you approve this bill. So this would give us that leverage to do so.
Yeah, so just because of that little caveat that they're trying to change, I don't want to put it up forth unless we talk to both the pensions as well as Lauterbach to see if there's going to be any changes as regards to their fees or anything like that. So.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I think because we don't have sufficient information, we need to table this until we get more information. I'm assuming that we're not on a timeline right now.
We're not, no.
Madam Comptroller, correct?
No, we're not.
Okay, I think we need to table this because it sounds like a lot of numbers are floating around, and I don't want to vote on something that we're not sure about.
Okay, solid complaint.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
okay. I just got one more thing I want to bring up under finance. And I just want to bring it to all the aldermen. And I just want to figure out how to address this, with AMM Enterprise. He's a contractor for the city of North Chicago. He did public works, and he's in the water plant. And he did some addition charges that we looked into it back here a few months ago, a year or so ago. And in the contract, he wasn't in the contract. And he was charging for mileage coming back and forward to work. He was charging for using his computer. And he had some classes that he was going to and did some things. So it was brought to my attention, and I've been talking to our chief of staff about the situation. He went and looked into the things he was charging, and the chief of staff sent it to AMM and let him know that what he owed $6,231 back to us, but he don't want to pay it. So I'm just letting you know about in the contract. I said the contract now. He said he had an agreement with Dave, a word agreement. I don't work on word of mouth. We work on a contract.
Yes.
So Dave sent out chief of staff sent out a letter to him, told him what he owes back. And it's been almost a month or two, so I'm bringing it to the council now. So I want to see what you guys think about it. Now, we don't went back in 1 year. You can talk to the comptroller, she can verify this, and what I'm talking about.
I'll just make a recommendation to take it out as next paycheck or check then.
So.
I mean, that's what they do to us if we owe money. So so the same
But
thing
I'm
should
going
go
back
out
to,
to
if
vendors.
in Albany, they do it overspend or take some money, they spend it the wrong way, they take out a check for next year. But I'm just letting you guys know, so you guys didn't know about this, I knew about it for the last, and chief of staff can say, send a letter, I can send a letter to all you guys, let your guys see what it's all about. But he was charging and it ain't in the contract. We stopped it. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, finish.
No, I'm just saying, so if it ain't in the contract, well, I'm concerned,
Yeah, no verbal.
No verbal. I don't play with verbal. This is a $52 million company here that we dealing with. It's nothing personal, it's just business. When he brought it to my attention, I rectified. But I want all the city council to know about it and, go from there. So, Alderman Evans?
Yes, but when it was rectified, it was noticeable. But at the same time, if it was gonna be pointed out, it should have been pointed out prior to the Dave Kilbane situation. We knew that guy, the company was doing this in the first place. This was not nothing that was brand new to the company. I think it's just that somebody's going after someone because of the money that happened. But I'm just saying, it was a verbal contract, that it was a verbal situation. It was going on for over a year. Now, since it's been brought up to the council and it's been worked on, hey, it could be paid back, as the treasurer said, if that's what that company want to do. But I also know that that company has been doing work for us and getting reimbursed the money that he's supposed to get back. So, that's all. I just want to point that out. It ain't nothing that he did illegally, but I just find it funny that things are being pointed out after certain people leave.
Can I be recognized?
Go ahead.
I understand your point. There's a written contract.
Right.
With AMM.
Right.
So anything that's outside that, in other words, if it had been discussed and agreed upon even by the former chief of staff, that contract gets renewed. It's not like endless. Why wasn't it then? Why didn't it go from verbal to, okay, we're renewing the contract? These are the things that the former chief of staff and the agent of AMM said, hey, we think this is a good idea, or this is what I want. And the chief of staff says, okay, I think that's a good idea. There was an opportunity at contract renewal to go from a verbal agreement or a discussion to something that was put into the body of a written contract that we all had a chance to review and approve. That didn't happen. Verbal agreements, I'm really sorry. I'm no attorney, and I don't know that we have to put this to our city attorney, but a verbal agreement, I'll just use the old saying, isn't worth the paper it's written on. And it should have been a council decision. In other words, anything that is compensating somebody who's a contractor, where we review the contract, we should have the right to see that contract and say, wait a minute, did we agree to this? Do we agree to this? Ultimately, to my understanding, those contracts come to us. Yes, the chief of staff, whoever it might be the one doing the negotiating and the discussion. It gets reviewed possibly, I'm almost certain at some point before it comes to us, or certainly before, because we can't approve it if it hasn't been reviewed by legal. There's this whole process. If we don't know that it's happening already, to me, that's suspect, because it has to do with a contractor's compensation. And no, this for me is absolutely not personal, but I do think that that's something. How do we make a decision as a council if when we're reviewing that contract, we don't know that that's one of the agreements? We should know. And then we could say yay or nay. We could say, hey, that's a wonderful idea, or I'm not so sure I want that as part of this whole deal. Then they'd go back and renegotiate, I guess. But that process, to me, is the process that keeps everything open and above board and keeps the council making informed decisions. A verbal agreement between any two people, a contractor and a staff member, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it this way, is suspect, because that takes us out of our role. We're the decision makers on that, and we should be making that decision.
Where's the original contract at? Did we do? You would have that original.
We just
contract.
renewed one.
If you just renewed it, we should have known what was on it, right?
It wasn't in the contract.
What in the contract is verbal.
We can't see what isn't there.
Hold
No, the contract that was recently renewed by the council did not have, it talks about reimbursable expenses, but it doesn't
talk about the specifics. This was an issue where the consultant turned and said he was going to bill hourly from the point he left his home for transit, for travel, best way to describe it. The consultant informed me after I given him a letter saying this is how much is owed to the city. This came back with a letter. I asked him to document it for me and send me a rebuttal. His rebuttal was, I shouldn't pay this back because I had an agreement with the former chief of staff that said, rather than paying for my travel time on an hourly, I would turn around and have mileage paid to and from work.
Okay,
Sure, so mileage, he most likely would get more money. Ultimately, that's what we're saying, if he went to mileage versus hourly. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'd have to look at the numbers. We never.
If I remember correctly, it was in DuPage County was where he resided. McHenry. Okay, so you're looking at least 50, 60 bucks each way versus how much is the hourly rate? Or rate?
I have to look at his hourly.
I'm
without
sure it's not
contract.
that much, so that's well more than every single day he comes here. So essentially, that's a cost negative for the city versus a cost positive. to
Yeah,
the-
I don't know what Dave's thinking was. I can't speak to it. I wasn't here, so I can't.
And
all I'm going with is the contract. All other verbal stuff you're talking about, because if I had overpaid my bill or something, I didn't pay a bill or something.
Yeah,
They
they
send
take
me,
it-
they send me out a bill, say, hey, you owe me up, this and that, I gotta pay it.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting the city council know that this is what's going on right now. We stopped it now, but, and I only went back 1 year, I didn't go back, comptroller didn't go back 2 years, she went back 1 year. I'm trying to be nice, then now you're gonna say you don't wanna pay, now, okay, you wanna go back 2 years now?
Well, and I think I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up, at the point we challenged the numbers
Right,
on the mileage, the request for mileage reimbursement stopped.
right, everything stops.
He had stopped. We did have some added requests for reimbursement for equipment. I denied that, so that stopped.
Right.
So this all stems from precedents that happened however many years ago between a conversation between the previous chief of staff and the consultant.
It's something.
Go ahead, Trey.
I was just gonna ask the city attorney, how far can we go back legally?
Honestly, this is the first time hearing of any of this, so, and I don't know enough. But to the point, you have a contract.
Mhm.
Everything falls within the four corners of the contract. So, and I haven't seen the contract, so I don't know all the issues. Again, I'm hearing a lot of this for in fact, I'm hearing all of it for the first time. So to your question, I don't have an answer right now. But if you have an enforceable contract, everything's within that contract.
So without you looking at it, most likely it'd be back to the beginning of the contract.
Yeah,
Possibly.
whatever. I don't know. There's a couple other legal questions here,
Yeah.
whether Kilbane even had the authority to bind the corporation the way he did. I doubt he
No,
did.
he doesn't.
So that's another issue altogether. And we could disregard it on that basis and never get to the contract question, but I gotta look
Correct.
at it.
Okay.
You have a question over there? Okay, all right then, so I just wanna know, do you guys wanna look into it and get our money back? That's the bottom line. So you wanna show the attorney the
The-
contract that we have for, we already know that he's over.
Yeah.
We already know that.
The contract, the correspondence, the
already
spreadsheets I
know
went
that.
through, I went through all the invoices.
Right, it's there. So, I just wanna know, you guys wanna enforce it or let it keep it, that's all I'm asking. Wait. I think you should press, your sisters.
I'm just at, the package I provided you,
Yeah, and,
do you want that provided to the council?
yeah, right,
I do want to see the contract, but I will say this, he did not have that authority to bind you the way that contractor understood his rights to be. Anything that he can claim as any sort of compensation had to be within the four corners of the contract.
Exactly, 4 corners.
And you, yes, yes,
Yeah, right.
absolutely.
The contract and say, yeah, or go back to the drawing board.
But wasn't we the ones that passed the bill? We were the ones that passed the bill every time that bill came up. You didn't say nothing about that contract.
But if you don't
That-
really-
But see, that's, well, see, no, but if that's the case, what we need to do, because I'm sure that person is not the only one, so that means we need to audit everybody's department. We don't need to just focus, well, I'm just saying, if we're gonna audit one, we need to audit all. That's all I'm saying.
Consultants and contractors are different than employees.
Well,
There's a different
I'm just
process
saying,
for employees
I
and
understand
for
that. But that's not the discussion though. The discussion is about the pay. That's all.
if a contract comes before us and there isn't something in it that we can read and understand whether we think that's a good idea or not,
I understand that.
and an invoice comes through from somebody where we don't see the detail of the invoice, or maybe it's not detailed, how do we know to question it?
Did you pass the bill?
I'm
That's the
not sure what you're saying. You mean, did we approve bill payment out of the city bills?
Absolutely.
Sure we did.
Okay, there you go.
But when you approve something that you don't know is wrong, what, am I supposed to pay it back?
No. What I'm saying is.
It's not okay. I'm sorry, Alderman Evans, it's not okay.
Do it for, that's all. I'm
All right,
saying.
then we'll get every contractor and
There
every
you go.
consultant, and
right.
we'll review all of their
There you go.
contracts and all of what they're billing us
Right.
for.
That's it.
Right.
I need,
How many do we have? Do we have 5? Do we have 10? Do we have 25?
I need an assistant.
How many do we?
A
Seriously, how many?
list of contractors. We can go through everybody from the city attorney down to Safe Build, down to,
That'd be funny as-
So
okay.
can we do a separate audit that we have to pay somebody to do rather than have Greg audit 20 people?
See?
And we do have an annual audit, by the way, and it wasn't actually caught in the audit either.
Right.
But the auditors can't look for something that they don't know is wrong.
the auditors are looking for
That's not what we're looking at.
practices.
Yeah.
Thank
Right.
you. It's okay. No need to get upset about it.
Okay,
Be
Greg,
cool.
they all saying they want
It's
their money
okay.
back. You want our money back, the bottom line.
It's okay.
Go back to day one of the contract, which was like 4 years ago or whatever. it
No,
was.
you see.
That's when we found out.
A year, I say
Mhm.
a year.
Okay, then the paperwork's already done. I'll
Okay.
put a cover letter on it to
Yeah.
the council.
All right, thank you.
That's it.
That's it.
Pay your fee, gone.
And I will. Perfect. Thank you. Anyone got questions on the finance? All right. Can I get a motion to, close the finance? Alderman, made a motion by Alderman Ray,
Second.
second by Alderman Brooks. All in favor saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. You're doing that. You're doing that. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest.